Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and good evening, everyone. This is Zishan Isaac on Zishan On Air, and I would like to welcome everyone on the social media platform because we are live on social media as well. And before we dive right into our key topics today, I would like to first give a shout out and especially thank our key advertisers and sponsors because without their support, this program is not possible. And we are live on FM 95.1 and then also on 1460 AM. And if you would like to advertise with us, then please connect with me directly, 281-223-1214. That's the number, 281-223-1214. And those who are on Facebook, you can connect with me on Facebook, Zishan Isaac. And then we're also on Instagram and also on YouTube Live. And first, I would like to thank Affordable Insurance of Texas. AITinsurance.com is their website for any kind of auto needs, auto insurance, especially. So any kind of insurance from auto standpoint or commercial insurance or home insurance, homeowners insurance, you can certainly connect with them, even health insurance. And for that, you can connect with AITinsurance.com online or just call them 713-785-4000. 785-4000 is the number, and they have a lot of locations all over Texas, in Houston as well, and even in Dallas, etc. So AITinsurance.com, and their direct number is 713-785-4000, Affordable Insurance of Texas. Our another advertiser is AvestaHouston.com. That's the easiest way to connect with them in terms of what's their address or what's their phone number, AvestaHouston.com. But I'll share with you. Avesta Persian Grill, they say we serve Middle Eastern and Persian food. So Middle Eastern, you love Middle Eastern food, you love Persian food. They say we serve Persian and Middle Eastern cuisine. So please connect with them, visit them. Obviously, they're located at 11165 Westheimer Road, and the phone number is 713-781-5555. That's 713-781-5555. So that's the number, and they're located right at the intersection of Westheimer and Wilcrest. So you cannot really miss them because it's very easy to get there, and at the same time, you can also mention my name, so that way you can say Zishan Essentia. So that way they will serve you complimentary hot tea and you will enjoy. So let's talk about Trump's pick, and especially interesting picks, let's put it that way, mildly, and also very colorful personalities or characters that President-elect Trump has picked. And with regards to the first one, is this Trump's defense choice that actually has stunned the Pentagon, and it has raised some eyebrows and has also raised some questions about the Fox News host experience. He, in fact, was also a veteran, and he is picked for defense secretary. Imagine. He's going to manage almost $1 trillion of budget. It's about $800 to $900 billion budget. And he is going to be in charge of the most powerful military apparatus and military institution, and obviously the Pentagon. And that's his choice. And President-elect has picked him up for his defense secretary. So a lot of people who are Republicans and Trump supporters or MAGA supporters, they say, okay, well, he wants to drain the swamp. He couldn't do it in the first 4 years, so let's see what would happen now. But then the question is that, okay, well, they need to rein in the Pentagon. So that's an interesting one. How are you going to rein in the generals as well? Because the generals are professional people. But then they talk about woke generals, quote unquote. So that's another one. What is woke general, and why that kind of term has been introduced? But you got to go and ask, Trump and his supporters. Another key aspect of raising the questions, and a lot of people are perplexed. Also, a lot of eyebrows have been raised because I'm going to share this particular news, so that way you can also understand what is going on. So what is going on here is this particular idea of this particular idea of the tattoos, and just to keep it hilarious or with political satire, be sure whatever tattoo you get, you may get away with it, or sometimes you may not. So this tattoo that there are a lot of tattoos, in fact, this defense secretary pick that has, and he has a lot of tattoos. So one is Deus Vult. That is a tattoo on his bicep. That's a rallying cry for Christian crusaders in the Middle Ages. And that is from independent newspaper that is also reported on many other news publications. And I'll show you. This is where it is, right? Deus Vult. What does that mean? Deus Vult. That is a Latin term. In English, we say Deus Vult, but in Latin, it say Deus Vult. And although I don't know Latin, I just know a few words here and there, and I try to look up the terms and how those terms are coined. It basically means if God wills it, God wills it. So the first Crusaders, if you go back and read history, even the church apologized for it because a lot of people died, and God willed it. So that's basically what the term basically has been coined for. So you can just kill anyone, and then you can say God basically wills it. So that is how the experts are explaining this term. He has some other tattoos as well. This is another one, and I don't know why we're talking about his tattoos, but it is being reported. It's all over the map, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Another tattoo he has is the Jerusalem cross on his chest. Prevented him from being involved in security arrangements for Joe Biden's inauguration in 2021. So because of this tattoo as well, he actually was not picked in the security arrangements in 2021 because he was considered as from the national security and from Secret Service, I guess, a risk. So he was not picked. And now he's going to be, if nominated by Trump, which he has been nominated, but if confirmed by Senate, he'll be the defense secretary. The reason also is because of the tweet or on the X platform, what the vice president-elect has also said, because there's a lot of uproar. So even he had to basically share some of the key, I guess, defensive way to protect this particular pick of President-elect Trump. So just check it out. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, these are important positions. What message are they trying to send to the world? I mean, are they going to go for some crusade? Because the first pick of defense secretary basically is a self-confessed national Zionist, and he considered as well himself as a Christian Zionist and Christian national. So just go ask, this fellow, and why is that? I mean, that's what he basically says. So I'm just quoting what has been reported, and this Fox News host, and at the same time, war veteran, National Guard veteran, in fact, Mr. Hexet. So Hexet is basically the pick. And the other one is also an interesting pick. And this one is basically another pick which a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh. And that's, again, putting it mildly. Mr. former Congressman Matt Gaetz, nominated to be the Attorney General, is an ill omen. That is by The Economist. A lot of news publications, obviously MAGA supporters, Trump supporters will say it's just all fake news. He obviously was not even under investigation. He was under investigation by Congress. And his report was supposed to come in just a few weeks. And now he's been nominated for being the chief law officer of this country, the United States of America, who has been investigated for having sex with a minor who was 17 at the time. And then news publications have reported that he paid her off, and settled it. But then again, it's a crime. It's a crime in this country to basically have this kind of relation, or especially with a minor. So he is been now being picked for the attorney general position. So the Republicans and Trump supporters will need to help everyone understand. Getting a mandate, so-called mandate, we get it, or getting a landslide victory does not mean that you can just pick anyone. You got to pick people who are qualified. According to Trump, they're very qualified. Trump also selects Tulsi Gabbard. Yes, another one. So she used to be, her story is she used to be a Democrat. That's right. She used to be a Democrat. She even ran for the president's position, ran for president. Tulsi, right? Tulsi Gabbard. So she is going to be the National Intelligence Director. You heard it right. Director of National Intelligence. And then who are these people who are going to be confirmed? Confirmation is required from Senate. Obviously, Marco Rubio, another one. He is going to be the Secretary of State for U.S. And then there's a whole list that I'm sharing here on the social media. And then no confirmation required for all these people. Obviously, VP does not require any confirmation from Senate. And there's also no confirmation required for Elon Musk and then Vivek Ramaswamy. Imagine Vivek Ramaswamy. A lot of people are fans of Vivek. And a lot of people say, what's going on with Vivek? He is probably considered as a moment for the Asian community as the Ben Carson moment. Ben Carson, remember? He was in Trump's cabinet, and he did not represent the Black community or the African American community. Ben Carson. And thoughts and prayers for him. He is no more. And then Vivek Ramaswamy. He does not connect with the Asian community, although obviously his parents are from South Asia, from India. And he is the Ben Carson of the Asian version. Again, he has been tasked along with Elon Musk for Doge, not Dogecoin, but the Department of Government Efficiency. I get it. It's a neat idea, a good idea to have some efficiency in the government. Let's see how that pans out. So these are some picks. The jury is out. Again, this is our country. Opposition or people who are independent or people who are Democrats or people who are independent thinkers or people who are patriot. Obviously, they are asking the right questions, and we need to ask these questions as well because these are top positions, and there's no room for error or no room for making mistakes in terms of judgment. So judgment matters, especially if you are leading hundreds and thousands of employees and also millions and billions and close to $1 trillion budgets, as in the case of the defense secretary. Important areas to remember and consider. And last but not least, I would like to also point out, especially about Ronan Farrow. He's a contributor, writer at the New Yorker, and he also created or produced this, I would say, film or documentary, Surveilled, on HBO Max. So he basically talked about how our cell phones can be turned into a listening device. He also said, keep an eye and watch what Elon Musk is doing, because here's the rich individual getting his personal interests advanced, which can be in contradiction to US interests or government interests. And his role in Ukraine war with the Starlink access. I also have a Starlink access in my vehicle. Many of us do, right? So that's a good technology. But then how the technology also worked in the Middle East and then also in Ukraine war. And then also with regards to his biggest Tesla factory in China. So some contradictions in terms of his interest or conflict of interest. So this is going to be an interesting 4 years of Trump. Another key topic quickly I would like to discuss is the immigration. He has already talked about Trump in terms of mass deportation. So yes, I'm all for legal immigration, but especially we should not see any kind of divisions or families getting a split because of this whole uh, operation or execution of this deportation order that will definitely be signed as an executive order by President-elect Trump when he will become president as our 47th president. I still remember a lot of people never considered, especially Republicans. Many Republicans, I heard it myself on Sean Hannity radio, also on many radios, Rush Limbaugh when he was alive, and especially on Fox News Radio. And I quote them, and there are those recordings available. Then let's make Obama a one-term president, even when he was elected. And they never considered him as the president of our country. So imagine that if all Democrats, all independents, or all those who have not voted for President Trump, they would just say, oh, obviously he's there for the second term. But then there's also this joke out, which is not a joke, it's a serious thing, right? That, oh, it could be longer, because he did mention that to all the congressmen and congresswomen when he met Congress, because Republicans, they also have the majority in the House of Representatives. Congress, especially the lower house, they already had the majority after the election because they got 53 seats, Senate seats. So now they have the House of Representatives, both houses, House of Representatives, and then Senate, and then the executive. So 2026, I know it will be a rebound. We will see how they will govern. They only have 2-3 years. But in these 2-3 years, they have a very short time window in terms of delivery. And with these kind of picks, and I want everyone in this country to be successful economic-wise. There's also this whole idea, and there's a philosopher, and I'll mention about him in our next program, next Sunday, because I would like to conclude from the social media broadcast as well, this live streaming session, that the educational elite or the people who are in this country on very top positions because of their academic achievements, which is good, but also they look down on people who didn't have a college degree, or they call them as the meritocracy, or people who are on merit, but then they look down on people who may not have the qualifications or advanced degrees to be successful. Because the whole idea was for the past 20, 30, 40 years that if you get a college degree, you'll be successful. But a lot of people felt that even they got the college degree, they're still not getting way ahead as compared to the Wall Street executives or the C-class executives. Although it's basically where we see some type of exceptions. We see some other people in terms of merit, not because of the color of their skin, but because of merit, they are promoted. But it's still, we don't see many. And then those who do have the advanced degrees, master's, or even bachelor's degree, because of inflation and cost of living adjustment, social mobility, we're not seeing a lot of that. So there was also this anxiety and this frustration that what is going on with middle class America, middle class USA. So even that idea that if you get a 4-year degree, you'll be so successful, people didn't buy that, because they saw that in the past 20, 30 years and how they saw the value of dollar eroded, and the cost of living and economy obviously is not doing that great for many Americans, even those who have a college degree, because there are mass layoffs, people at the top, this divide between income inequality, obviously the gap between the rich and the poor. And then what about the middle class? It's just getting shrink and shrink and shrink. So it's getting shrunk. So that was also something that played into the role of, okay, enough. You cannot look down even on those who have a college degree and those who don't have a college degree, and they also voted for Trump as well. So there's a lot of, factors, even anger, frustration, and then in terms of, I would say, some mistakes that Democrats also did. Why President Biden did not obviously resign in terms of not resign as a president, but at least, or maybe some argue she should have, or at least during the primary, that he loved the country, then he loved the country late. He didn't love the country during the Democratic primary. These are the people who are our neighbors, our co-workers, our fellow Americans, and they were asking me this question. So I'm just relaying it to you. So don't shoot the messenger, like they say, right? So I'm just telling you like it is. So that's a good question. And then obviously Kamala Harris only got 107 days to campaign. And then obviously she campaigned, but she was not able to put herself as a change catalyst, as a change agent, or different than President Biden, especially the question when she was asked that, would you have done something different or than President Biden? And she said, and she was not prepared to answer that question, how is it possible? But she did answer that, oh, I cannot think of anything. I'm paraphrasing. So with that, we'll continue this discussion because this is our country. We want everyone to be successful in this country, even people who are on the other side of the aisle. I'm a proponent of bringing everyone together because the leader will bring everyone together. President-elect Trump also said in his victory speech on the election night, that, hey, he will try. And he said, I'll try, we'll try to unite. So actions speak louder than words. We're going to hold him accountable to that because he is going to be our president-elect, 47th president of this country. And hopefully he has already learned from the mistakes of his first presidency. And he has said it in some of his interviews as well, that I didn't know anyone in Washington. Well, now you know, and then you have been campaigning for past 8 years. So now you have been elected again. You have been given this honor and privilege to be our president because we don't believe in kings. We don't believe in queens. We don't believe in princes or princesses. We believe in the rule of law. This country is a nation of laws. And then if you are nominating someone who has no regard to law and he's going to be the chief law officer of this country, that's problematic. And then when I say that, people also talk about, hey, Zishan, what about himself? Well, the jury is out. People have elected him. Yes, I know, in terms of his own cases, what have you. But then again, this is something that we have to see how it would shape up in terms of the rules and laws of this country, which obviously we are getting into uncharted territory again. But I'm a cautiously optimistic person. So with that, I'm signing off from the social media. We'll continue it in our on our radio broadcast on the FM 95.1, 1460 AM. And again, please continue to support us because that's how I will continue to share the information and the facts and truth that no one is talking about. And we need to talk and discuss about those. And then at the same time, share your concerns as well, that how independents and Democrats can definitely be a force of good. And then those people who would like to get back in terms of solving people's problems and working Americans, working class, and then professionals, and then everyone's problems as well. Those who don't even have a college degree. So I'm all ears. I'm your local person here. I'm just like you. I'm just honored and privileged to be part of this community. And speaking of that, I attended the NAACP event. It was a business and community showcase event. And there I was sitting with our local judges. So it was an honor. So thank you, NAACP and Dr. Janice Little and all the management administrators of NAACP for inviting me. And then thank you to everyone and those who participated. There were a lot of talent I saw. And I was the tabulator for the entire scores as we were judging. And I was sitting with the judges in terms of who would be with the business pitches. So Mary Kay Consultants, they won. So congratulations to them as well. So with that, continue to stay engaged with me because when I'm going and meeting with the Americans, because that's what I do. And when I was running for office, that's what I've been doing as well. But as you all know, I was running for 3.5 years and I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere. And I will continue to be the voice of reason, voice of hope for everyone, for all Americans. Even when I talk to some Republicans who never voted for a Democrat, they voted for me as well. There were very few, but they did. And I'll share some of those campaign stories as well. Some are interesting, some are very hopeful because I believe in America. I believe in Americans. We are good people, even though the international media and even some national media, they sometimes portray, and those who live outside of US do not understand how this country works. We live in one of the greatest countries in the world. It is the land of the free because of the brave, and we are also the brave. So we just have to be optimistic, and we just have to continue to reason. Even if we have to argue, and let the best idea win. That's who I am. And yes, I am a proud American, and yes, I'm a Democrat as well, but I'm a common sense Democrat, and I'm also sharing some of these uh, reasons and people's opinions, even with my own Democratic Party in Fort Bend, because that's where I reside and live for decades. So with that, I'm signing off, Zishan Isaac, and continue with the traditional media. Thank you.